CBS's hit police procedural NCIS is currently in the middle of its 20th, yes 20 season, and it seems the demand for our favorite team of special agents is still at an all-time high. Along the way, we've noticed some pretty famous faces on the show who've stopped by for the odd cameo. Today, we're discussing Michelle Obama and 5 other stars who you forgot appeared on NCIS. Stay tuned. First up, we're talking Sean Astin. Stay with us. Who, we hear you cry? Why, Sean Astin, of course. While the name might be a little unrecognizable, the face definitely won't be. Astin found worldwide fame in the early 2000s after he was cast as the lovable, if not slightly daft hobbit, Samwise Gamgee, who was tasked with assisting his old mate Frodo on his quest to rid the world of the powerful ring which ruled all. And he didn't rest on his laurels. After the furor of Lord of the Rings had finally died down, Astin received offers from all over the place and would go on to have a main role in 24, Season 5, as Lynn McGill. He would also appear in movies such as 50 First Dates and Click, but fans of NCIS might not realize that he also stopped by in Season 9 of the show as tough investigator Tyler Elliott. The role was a little different from those we had come to expect from Astin, but it showed the range of his acting capabilities. The episode he appeared in, The Tell, was the 18th episode of the 9th season and followed a fake shooting plot designed for the team to find out where a leak was coming from. The episode also featured another bona fide Hollywood star, who we'll be discussing in just a second, so stay right where you are. What's your favorite Astin role from his career so far? Gotta be Samwise, right? Jamie Lee Curtis is coming through next. Star of the Halloween movies and other epics such as the early 90s James Cameron classic True Lies, Curtis could quite possibly be the most famous actor ever to appear on NCIS. With a career spanning since the 70s, she's appeared in a slew of movies and shows over the years, including A Fish Called Wanda and the remake of the 1976 classic Freaky Friday. Curtis has also had a recurring role on the hit Zooey Deschanel show New Girl as Joan Day, but shortly before she appeared as Zoe's on-screen mom, she stopped by NCIS for 5 episodes during Season 9 as Dr. Samantha Ryan. The role saw her play the head of the DoD PsyOps division, but she was also written into the folklore of the show, as it turned out the character was romantically involved with one special agent, Leroy Jethro Gibbs. Ryan also had a son named Parker, but split from his father, who it seems was abusive given her reaction Until Death Do Us Part to his being released from prison. She would quickly end her relationship with Gibbs due to the release of her ex-husband, who apparently still held incredible psychological power over the doctor, given their previous relationship. Curtis recently appeared in the Netflix movie Knives Out, and what will almost certainly be the final Halloween movie, Halloween Ends, this year. What's your favorite role of Jamie Lee's? We're talking Zac Efron now. Stay with us. Another legitimate Hollywood star, Efron, admittedly appeared on NCIS before he was the Zac Efron we all know and love today. Having appeared in the High School Musical films, which served as the catalyst for what he's since gone on to do, Zac also appeared in the 2006 episode Deception, in which he plays Daniel Austin, a teenager who bought a phone from a Navy commander. Of course, the role was a bit part, and Efron served as little more than an extra, but his appearance just goes to show how many stars have appeared on the hit show. Since his 2006 appearance, it's safe to say that Zac's career has skyrocketed. He's appeared in films such as Baywatch, Dirty Grandpa, and The Beach Bum, but undoubtedly, in our opinion, his greatest performance to date was that of Ted Bundy in the appropriately titled Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. Efron's portrayal of the sadistic killer won him plenty of plaudits, and he's since gone on to star in the movies Gold, Firestarter, and The Greatest Beer Run Ever this year alone. While Efron was just starting his career when he made his appearance on NCIS, fans of the show can bask in the knowledge that if it wasn't for our favorite drama, there probably would be no Zac Efron as we know him today. Of course we're joking, or are we? Next up, it's Millie Bobby Brown. By now, good old Millie is one of the brightest acting talents in the world, having starred as Eleven on the hit Netflix drama Stranger Things over its 4 seasons. The show undoubtedly turned her into the star we all know and love today. But before playing the young Hawkins lab resident who's gifted superpowers after a string of lab tests, she actually appeared alongside Mark Harmon and others on NCIS. We bet you didn't know that one. Back in 2014, she stopped by as Rachel Barnes in the episode Parental Guidance Suggested. Her character was a psychotic youngster who murdered her mother in a bid for more attention from her Navy SEAL father. Yeesh. Brown was able to capture the terrifying persona that she would become so synonymous with Eleven a few years later, even at the tender age of 10 during the episode. Is this another case of NCIS being able to take credit for the career of a young star? I mean, why not? Whilst Brown is clearly a talented actor, we would suggest her work on our favorite crime drama went at least some way towards her landing the gig of Eleven on Stranger Things, right? Since those early days, Millie has gone on to star in the Enola Enola Holmes movies, as well as Godzilla vs. King Kong, and also has a couple of movies coming through next year. Busy times. Do you remember Millie in NCIS Season 12? Colin Hanks is coming through now. Of course, the Hanks name is more synonymous with that of Tom, the legendary actor who counts films such as Saving Private Ryan and Big on his resume. However, his son Colin is also an esteemed actor and has appeared in some of the biggest shows over the last decade or so in the shape of Fargo and Dexter. Hanks Jr. has also appeared in the excellent Band of Brothers, as well as the true story of the making of The Godfather, Paramount's The Offer. However, during the early part of the 2010s, Hanks stopped by for 3 episodes of NCIS over the back end of the 10th season and the start of the 11th. He played Inspector Richard Parsons, who was hell-bent on bringing down Gibbs and the rest of the team in order to dismantle the unit. Of course, this meant that Parsons was one of the most unpopular characters in the entire series. Since then, you might have seen Hanks pop up in the rebooted Jumanji movies as Alex Vreek, as well as the American sitcom Life in Pieces. While it's often hard to follow in the footsteps of a successful parent or older sibling, Hanks has made his roles his own and is clearly a talented actor in his own right. I mean, there's no doubt Pop gave him a helping hand during his early career, but he's by now a well-established actor. Do you remember Hanks popping up on NCIS? And finally, it's Michelle Obama. Easily the most high-profile person to ever make a cameo appearance on NCIS, Barack's other half is no stranger to making appearances on hit TV shows. In the past, Mrs. Obama has stopped by on shows such as Blackish, Parks and Recreation, as well as our own favorite, NCIS. Obama was still the First Lady back in 2016 when she appeared on NCIS during an episode entitled Homefront. During the episode, she was seen promoting her charity Joining Forces, which seeks to support the families, caregivers, and survivors of the U.S. Armed Forces. Michelle's role entailed thanking our man Gibbs for his work, and the episode was actually filmed on location in the White House, quite incredibly. Mrs. Obama has made a career out of philanthropy, and her links to charitable organizations don't start and end with Joining Forces. She's also been involved with other great causes, such as the public health campaign Let's Move, as well as Reach Higher and Let Girls Learn. She's also been very vocal on issues such as LGBT rights, and the fight against HIV and AIDS was also instrumental in repealing the U.S. military's Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, which was the official U.S. policy on non-heterosexuals in the military. Were you guys surprised to see Michelle Obama pop up on NCIS? As usual, thanks for dropping in on us today, and remember to tune in again next time when we'll be discussing all sorts of other cool bits and pieces. And why not do us a big favor by liking today's video while also sharing it with any NCIS heads you know of. Bye guys.
Yo, Jimmy, what are you doing here?
I'm just helping out while Casey's gone.
It was yesterday. I mean, the entire crime scene was wiped clean, but I did manage to pull a partial print.
Hey guys, so I just went over Casey's report and she is right. Otis was definitely trying to access our secure servers.